Anthony Acceturro, born 1938, is a former captain and leader of the New Jersey faction of the Lucchese crime family called the Jersey Crew. He ran the family's Jersey operations for many years before being sent to state prison. He and his family moved to Newark, New Jersey, sometime in the late 1940s. Anthony hung out with a bunch of young tough guys and was a brawler himself. He became the leader of the large street gang at 18 years old. Acceturro was recruited by Anthony Ham Delasco during the 1960s for the Lucchese crime family. Delasco ran his crew from East Orange, New Jersey, where he controlled jukebox machines, cigarette vending machines, illegal gambling, and loan sharking operations in Newark, New Jersey. In the late 1950s, he worked as Delasco's driver and protege, learning trades in illegal gambling and loan sharking that was controlling the Newark, New Jersey area. When Delasco died in the late 1960s, and Joseph Arbody became the new captain of the Jersey Crew, Anthony would be a lot more involved in organized crime under the guidance of Joe. In the 1920s, Joe reportedly served as an enforcer for Al Capone in Chicago before settling in New Jersey. According to newspaper records, he headed Lucchese interests in New Jersey by the 1970s, commanding over 100 mobsters and associates. Acceturro moved to Florida to avoid an investigation of his gambling operations in Newark. Another reason for his move was that South Florida was open to all the crime families for exploitation. During his absence, he designated his lieutenant, Michael Acceturro of New Jersey, to run the day-to-day operations of the crew. In the early 1970s, Lucchese boss Anthony Corallo put Acceturro in charge of the entire Lucchese operation in New Jersey, even though he wasn't yet a family member. Acceturro and his crew of new muscle helped Joe, who was still the official senior captain, keep control over the Jersey Crew. The delay in his initiation occurred because none of the New York families were accepting new members during this period. However, Corallo and Acceturro had a great relationship. In 1976, with help from his old friend Joe, Acceturro finally became a made man in the Lucchese crime family, along with the Acceturro brothers, Michael and Martin. He would finally become the official captain of the Jersey Crew by 1979, when Joe retired. Acceturro was indicted for loan sharking and extortion in February 1973. He was eventually arrested in Miami, Florida, with his bail set at $10,000. 3 years later, the state of New Jersey tried to extradite Acceturro from Florida. However, he fended off the order due to poor health. Based in Hollywood, Florida, he would continue to elude federal authorities while remaining involved in Lucchese operations in New Jersey. He was a man of almost unlimited luck when it came to being tried for his crimes. He once avoided prosecution by claiming to have Alzheimer's disease, only to experience a miraculous cure when he slipped and fell in the shower after the case against him was dropped. In 1980, the murder of boss Angelo Bruno created a power vacuum in the Philadelphia crime family, with rivals Philip Testa and Nicodemo Scarfo fighting for control. Anthony used this unrest to establish a small foothold for the Lucchese family in Philadelphia, using Michael Acceturro and his brother Martin. Acceturro was indicted in 1985 on charges of threatening government witnesses and posing a threat to public safety. He was later charged with intimidating competitors of the Lucchese-controlled Acceturro Group enterprises, along with credit card and wire fraud charges. Facing a number of federal prosecutions, he was granted a stay of sentence and was allowed to live in his Florida residence. In 1987, Anthony Acceturro and Michael Acceturro went on trial for narcotics and racketeering charges. One of the longest trials in U.S. history, the trial went on for 21 months. When the verdict was read, the defendants were pronounced not guilty on all counts, a stunning rebuke to the government. During the RICO trials, the relationship between Acceturro and Acceturro deteriorated into an outright power struggle. Acceturro was jealous of the rise of Acceturro's son, Anthony Acceturro Jr. within the New Jersey crew. Acceturro also felt that Anthony Sr. had given him very little respect over the years, that he had been watching over the New Jersey operations for him. Finally, Acceturro ordered a murder contract on the senior Acceturro. When the trial ended in acquittals for the defendants, Acceturro returned to Florida for his own safety. In September 1989, New Jersey authorities extradited Anthony Acceturro from North Carolina due to his refusal to appear and testify before a grand jury about labor racketeering and other state offenses. Due to Acceturro's murder contract, the state placed Acceturro in protective custody. In 1993, Acceturro was sent to federal prison. In late 1986, Lucchese boss Anthony Corallo, along with underboss Alvador Santoro and consigliere Christopher Fornari, were handed a 100-year sentence in the 1986 commission case. Corallo replacement, Anthony Luongo, turned up missing. Christopher Fornari then suggested narcotics trafficker Vittorio Amuso become new boss of the Lucchese crime family. Corallo was said to have wanted Lucchese captain Aniello Miglia, who was a good friend, to become boss, but he was tied up with legal troubles in the courts. Corallo reluctantly approved Amuso to become the boss of the family. The new leaders of the Lucchese crime family in Brooklyn, NY, Vittorio Amuso and Anthony Casso, suspended the family's relationship with the New Jersey crew. During the last years of Corallo's reign, Acceturro had been steadily decreasing his tribute to the point that he was only giving the family a measly $50,000 a year. Amuso and Casso knew this was way too little, and instead demanded that Acceturro turn over 50% of the crew's proceeds to them. When Acceturro refused such a high tribute of 50%, the two bosses attempted to strip Acceturro of his rank as captain and threatened to kill him. In the fall of 1988, the entire New Jersey crew was summoned to meet with Amuso in Brooklyn. Fearful of being massacred, just about everyone refused to go. Soon, the entire New Jersey crew had gone into hiding, decimating the Lucchese interests in New Jersey. Over the next year or two, most of the New Jersey crew members returned to the family. Amuso told the returning New Jersey crew members that Acceturro was an outlaw and needed to be killed. Although the crew disagreed with Amuso, who was known for unsanctioned hits from paranoia, the Jersey crew felt Amuso had no respect for Jersey's ruling commission or the Mafia Code of Conduct, which is how the New Jersey crew was able to operate successfully, controlling the Newark, New Jersey area for years prior to the retirement of guys like Joseph Abadie. The returning members also had respect for Anthony Acceturro. It was clear that boss Victor Amuso was the cause of the family almost becoming extinct in New Jersey a year earlier. Amuso sent hitmen to Florida to deal with Acceturro. However, it was later pointed out that Acceturro was in jail in New Jersey for refusing to testify in front of a state panel. In 1993, Acceturro was convicted on racketeering charges. His sentence ended in the mid-2000s. He is still alive and well in 2021, escaping the wrath of Amuso and Casso.